Alright, what's going on, guys? So today I'm going to be working on the battery relocation kit for the Ek-Eg and DC2. Now, I already had done another video like this, but I went ahead and made some changes to the battery, and I'm going to show you what I did. But the improvements that I did is going to be better for the new people buying it. There was really not much wrong in the past. It's just we learned to make it better, so and improving a few things. So I'm gonna quickly show it to you guys and show you how to install it in your car, and also what's gonna come with it. It's pretty simple. There's a few things that you're gonna need, but I'm gonna go ahead and cover it. So hopefully, if you're ordering one, you're watching the video, because there's a lot of people that don't, and then when they get it, they don't know what they're doing. But as of right now, the battery tray does not come with cables. Okay. That is something I'm gonna be working on soon, to make some cables, because I do offer for every other car that I do, but not for the EGs and the DC2s right now. I don't offer the cables as of now. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys what you need to do in order to install the battery on your car. Okay. Once again, this relocates the battery from the stock location to underneath the driver's side headlight. This can go in the passenger as well. That is going to be up to you, and I'm going to show you how you can put it on both sides. All right, guys, okay? So here's the new battery relocation kit that I have done. I'm going to quickly go over a few of the changes that I have done to it. So as a first thing, I know you're probably going to see pictures of the old design. The one thing that I made a change is to the front piece. I went ahead and changed it a little bit, and I also made the new logo a little bit better, and I also made it that it says it's here made in the USA, because obviously it is made here. So that is something that I'm proud of. That is a product that is made here. It's not overseas or any of the Chinese crap that you see usually on Amazon or eBay like that. So this is a product that is made here. All right, so as you can see, I've made the change here in the front, and as well the other battery we had notched here. And one thing we noticed is when you turn the wheel, if you left it on, I'm gonna talk over a little bit the mounting points, but when you turn the wheel, it will rub here. So we have cut this a little bit. On the other one we did it as well, but we went back a little bit more. And also as well, we cut here on the front. Okay, so we noticed this when you moved it forward, on different bumpers, depending on, it will touch here a little bit. Okay, so what we did, you can see here, we gave it a nice little curve so it can work perfect. And one of the biggest thing I did is I made the holes a little bit smaller here, and as well as the bottom. That is going to be the biggest change. And I have here the OEM piece that I have cut at the junkyard, so I can show you guys how everything is going to be going. Okay, so I'm going to be showing you guys how to put it together. And as well, I have printed this, and it's going to be kind of like a guide, because one thing I learned is after installing a few of them, it can be kind of complicated to line up the holes, especially the ones at the bottom. So that's one thing that I have done. So I will cover more on that in a second, but that is going to be the biggest changes that I've done to it. It's the front piece. We've modified this on the side, and as well as the holes. Okay, so you can see here. All right, so with the battery relocation kit, one of the things I have done compared to the other one, and now we're going to be using a ribbon nut, at times, yeah, that's what it's called, ribbon nut. So you can see here, I'm going to show you more of that in a second. Before, it was a little bit different. And then here is a spacer that's going to be going here behind, which I'll show you that in a second as well. So just a quick look over the material and how the finish looks. This is just a full billet. I do offer powder coating if you're interested in something, a specific color or something like that. So I have more details there on the website if you're interested in something like that. Otherwise, it will just come like this straight raw billet. So I know a lot of people love that kind of finish. So let's go ahead and show you how everything is and how to put everything together and what you're gonna need to do in order to put it on your car. All right, so here we go. So one thing that I went through a lot of trouble in the very beginning of the couple first boxes was trying to line up the hole from here, which is up here up top, and then lining up the bottom ones. As you can see here, they have to be right. So one thing I did, I went and go ahead and printed the paper and it's the same size as this. It's not going to be a different size. We already have tested it. Okay, so let's say you want the battery here in the middle. You're going to do, it's a thread hole right there already. So you're going to go ahead and put that in there. And then, okay, so this is, it's going to be 3 slots. So you can see here. And then just kind of how it goes. So I'm going to go ahead and quickly show you. So this is the first one, second one, and then third one, okay? So if you want to keep the battery without cutting anything, because if you want to move it, it's about to fall. If you want to move it forward, so if you want the battery on the first slot here, which is all the way to the left, okay? I'll quickly show you that, because on the other video I had all this here not cut, okay? So let's say you want the battery here, as you can see, okay? You're not required to cut anything, but what it does is it limits you from running a bigger tire, okay? So just keep that in mind. So what I have done, at least all the installs that I've done to a couple people, we have ran it in the middle. So there's 3 holes right here, okay? That has just been, actually everybody, nobody has ran it on the first spot because they have bigger tires and they didn't want to take the battery off, and then they just didn't want to deal with it. They just went and trimmed it here a little bit. So, okay, so you can see here, you don't have to trim completely the whole thing. That's one thing I have noticed as well, is you can actually keep this little piece here. It just requires to trim a little bit, but you are required to trim the rest, otherwise your battery will hit there. So I do apologize, but that is on the other video that I had, that if you want to move it forward, you will require to trim. If you don't, okay, if you do, you're gonna have to go ahead and line it up, all right, as you wish. So 1, 2, and 3. Let's say that's where we want it. As you can see here, the holes are even already lined up. As you can see, the mark, that's the paper going through. So that's how you know it's already lining up. You can see it. All right. So another thing that I went and changed from this setup to the other one was, now we're using the rivet nut. Okay. So before, I didn't like the other setup that you have to pull the bolt through and then put a nut here in the back. It just wasn't working as well. It does work, but I just personally wasn't happy. It is a lot easier just to put a rivet nut. Okay, as you can see here, the hole works there. And the only thing that sucks about it, you are required to have a rivet nut gun. So you can see here, I have one, and I'm gonna go ahead and quickly show you. These are M8. So if you have, well, I'll be going to a Honda, these are the 12mm bolts, okay? So as well, I supply you with the bolts, all right? And also the rivet nut, the little piece right here. And then the spacer, I'm quickly gonna show you that, how that's gonna be going together. But that is something that you're gonna have to do. Okay, so with this, on the other setup, I made the hole too big, as you can see here, and the thing is not gonna sit there properly. But I'm gonna show you how you need to do it in order to work. So one thing is, you do not want to make the hole too big like I did for this setup. It won't work. So you can see it wobbles. So let me see, my fingers are dirty, but you can see you do not want to do that. You want to have something very tight like that. Even then, still be a little bit loose. All right, so you can see here. So I'm gonna go ahead, the very first thing I'm gonna go ahead and do is put the spacer behind. And what the spacer does, as you can see here, let me line it up quickly for you guys. Let me see. Remind me. Let me see. There you go. Let me line it up here. Sometimes it's a little. Oh, here we go. So you can see. So what the spacer does, it lines it up, because here is a huge bump here. So what it does, it lines it up just like so. So it's going to be going here behind the battery. I'm gonna go ahead and show you how that's gonna be going, and I'll be right back. All right, so there you go. That's where the bolt goes, and that is gonna be a quarter. You can see for that one. All right, and then you want to line them up, as you can see here. All right, and then the next one is gonna be going for this one. And what you're gonna be doing with this one, you're gonna have to put the spacer up here. You can see here. All right, and that's going to do, it's going to take it off from this bump and making the battery sit nice straight up and down, because without this spacer and without this one right here, what ended up happening, it tilts the battery up, and that's not something I was happy about. So went and did the spacer here in the back, and as well right there. And I'm gonna go ahead and show you about the rib nuts, how they're gonna be going. All right, so that is something that you can easily get. I'll put a link on the website where I got this one. There was about like 20 bucks, I think, or 30 bucks on eBay. So it's not too bad. Comes very handy. I used it for a lot of stuff on my personal car. So all you do is put it in like so. But on this case, since I made the hole too big, it is not gonna work. But I'm gonna go ahead and show you on this one how, on this one right here, how it will look, so you guys get a better idea. Because it's just, once you make the hole too big, it is just not gonna work. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you in that one, and then that way you get an idea how it's gonna be. So there you go. I have put it there. As you can see, obviously it's gonna be down here, but once again, the holes are too big and it's not gonna work. All right, so you can see it is on there. It's not wiggling like it was earlier, and then you can see here now you'll be able to thread it on like if it was over here. Mind this, I'm not using this, guys. This is just for purpose, so I really don't care for it. This was from the old video that I did, and before you have to slide the bolt through and then put a nut here. It's just not, I wasn't 100% happy with it, so I went ahead and changed it. And now if you're watching the video, you're going to be getting one of the new ones. Okay, once again, the old one works, but I looked back at it and I went and improved a few things. So you can see here. All right, so very simple. All right, so we'll go ahead and bolt it up for you guys and show you how it looks on the car. Okay, on the car, on this piece. So here we go. This is how it should be looking if you have done everything right by now. So one thing is, I cannot stress enough, take your time and line up the holes properly. Make sure everything is lining up properly before you start putting the rib nuts. Test it with the battery. Last thing you want to do is mess it up. You know, like this one is messed up, but I don't care for it. Okay, so I want you to do it right. So you can see here we have put it in the middle. Oh, I'm about to drop this. And then we have put the piece here in the middle as well. So make sure you put the spacer behind. That's what it does. It lines it up, as you can see there. See if it catches it. There you go, a little bit. All right, so that makes it nice and straight. So hopefully the video is very helpful. I didn't mean to make it too long, but I wanted to share as much detail as possible. It will be coming with one of these papers, so you can line it up. It will come with the ribbon nuts. It will come with the bolts, the little spacer, and the other one as well. And I'm missing the other one right here for the top. All right, and a little nylon spacer in the back. So hopefully this is very helpful, and it will help you make the install a lot easier. One thing is, I suggest, now that I saw here in the bottom, if the battery is fitting a little bit tight here, go ahead and loosen up here, this in the bottom. Play with it, that way it can line up. Mind this, I put this whole thing together by hand, and sometimes just a little bit off could cause the bolts not to line up here properly. Okay, so you can see here right now they are. All right, so appreciate you guys watching. Hopefully the video once again was helpful, and I will see you guys on the next one. All right.